They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
All right, Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Whoa!
Is this little Becky?
Birthday cake comes in. It is so cute. My dad's eating Crazy Puffs again. Don't ask.
Whoa, have you tried the new bacon ones?
There are bacon ones?
Pizza.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for Game 2 here between ICC and Holmes. ICC picked up the 9-1 win in the first game of the day, trying to go for the sweep here in conference play. As we also get reset up here. It's going to be Miles, Fabry, and Jones scheduled up here in the top of the first. And it's going to be Lily in the circle here for ICC. It's that first pitch in there for a strike. Adam Gore, Michael Upton, and the myth, the man, the legend, that is Coach Andy Kirk joining us in the broadcast today. And guys, ICC 9-1 win in Game 1. Had a great performance, a no-hitter tossed by Alyssa Cliff. So let's go ahead and talk about it early here as that pitch misses low for a ball. How do you get ready, get focused here for Game 2, Coach?
Yeah, you got to just flush Game 1. It's hard to say that, but with 18 to 20-year-olds, you just got to start over. They all count the same. You get 28 conference games, and Game 2 is just as important as Game 1. So you just don't be satisfied. That's the main thing, is teaching your kids not to be satisfied, to come out and compete and win this first inning is the main thing. Can you win the first inning?
1-2 now is the count here to Miles from Lily. We'll take a look at some of her stats as this one popped up and reeled in out there in center field by Lakeland Nichols. Michael, let's go ahead and take a look inside the numbers being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi on the pitcher starting here for ICC.
All right, this is Lily's 11th appearance of the year. She comes in with a record of 4 wins and 3 losses in those 10 appearances, 7 games started. She has pitched 42 innings, has given up 65 hits, 39 runs, 26 of those earned, walked 12 and struck out 17.
That pitch missing outside for a ball.
And you expect to have a different strike zone.
Yes.
In Game 2. With different umpire, they're all different.
Trying to adjust the lighting here as there's pretty significant difference from the camera, one camera to the other. As we're getting, I wouldn't say late into the evening, it's just it's a cloudy day.
Yeah, some dark clouds today, too. Not, we're expecting a little bit of rain later on, but nothing right now.
And a big, huge gust of wind here, and time is taken.
Yeah, Porter asked for time, and then the batter asked for it, but Porter had already done that.
Well, that is actually
catching. Porter has moved to shortstop for this game.
Yes.
That wind blew in her face, so time was called by the batter, the catcher, and the umpire.
I can tell you, everybody in our dugout on the first base side, if the shortstop, the third baseman, or the pitcher do anything in the dirt, it's flying in that dugout right now. That dust is coming up at you.
That pitch in there for a strike, 2-1 now is the count. Coach, I mentioned this during the Jones game, and you know me well enough to know you're not surprised by this next comment. But say I was playing third base right now, and I knew the wind's blowing that way. If I could time out when the wind was blowing and happened to just kick my heel up to get some of the dirt, there's a diving effort but can't find it there. So that's going to drop for a hit. As a coach, would you be proud of me or would you be a little mad at me? Or do you want to leave that unanswered?
Be unanswered. I just want to know if you're doing it on purpose or if you had no idea what was going on. Well, I would inform you that was happening, and then we might have a problem afterwards.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, it would be one of those that I didn't, quote unquote, didn't know that I was trying to do.
Exactly. Their best stolen base threats at first base right here too. So we gotta find a way to keep her from getting second. Oh,
there's a slow roller. They're going to get one. Now they're going to turn 2, and it's not in time.
A very close play there, but just beats out the throw.
Very close. And that hit, to left field. Our left fielder Green did the best she could.
Yeah.
That ball just died.
And
he
again,
just
it's that
got there.
wind.
It was
Yeah.
all the wind because she thought she was going to get to it, and it just died.
So a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout. This will bring McGee to the plate now here for Holmes. Clouds starting to increase here at the ballpark. This one popped up, back, and out of play for strike one. We'll give you today's Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups in the exchange of the inning. Guys, y'all got a couple of Dasani waters, a Coke product there. I'm back on the wagon, I guess you can say. You got a Gold Peak tea.
Got a Gold Peak unsweet tea.
Yeah, it's
over
also
here.
a Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works product. I had done good for a little while. I was not drinking the sodas as much, and I've had 2 today. I needed the energy.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I'm telling myself.
Well, the wind makes you parched, just like the
Yes.
sun can. It can all this hard wind can really parch you.
So what are the 0-2 offering here from Lily? That pitch is going to miss low and outside. Runner thought about going, but instead will retreat back to first. 1-2 now is the count here to McGee.
Yeah, good job by Goodman to get there. Not let that get away and keep that runner at first.
So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. And that one, great job finding just a piece of that one to keep that bat alive. 1-2 now is the count.
It says it's 75 degrees in Fulton and 17-mile-an-hour winds.
And I have
Seems a little low.
Yeah, I would think there have been some gusts that have well exceeded that this afternoon.
You're exactly right, no doubt.
1-2 pitch on its way. This one popped back, and again a nice job by McGee fouling off these pitches, battling and keeping the at-bat alive here.
Yeah, she only got 2 plate appearances in game 1. She got an RBI, sacrifice bunt, which was the 1 run scored for Holmes in game 1. And she also lined out to right field.
So waiting the 1-2 offering here. Change up lifted, but
Look
not
at that
going to have
wind.
enough. Man, that was hit hard, but the wind looking like a field goal kick between Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Just the hand of God knocking it down and into the glove of Green there for the out. Michael, let's go ahead and take a look at today's Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups, and let's start with Holmes.
All right, you saw leading off for the Bulldogs was the designated player in this game, Miles, followed up by Fabry, the center fielder, and then Jones, the left fielder, and then McGee at first base. Batting 5th for the Holmes is Swilly, who is on the mound and pitching for them in this game. She played first base in the first game. Simpson, the third baseman, bats 6th. Williams, the second baseman, bats 7th. Batting 8th is Glasgow in right field for this game. And the shortstop in this second game for Holmes is Billy. Brewer is catching and is in the flex position for Holmes.
I just mentioned Ole Miss, and you just said Billy Brewer. So there you go.
The dog is always with us.
We're flashing it way back there. Let's take a look at today's Tupelo Coca-Cola Bottling Works starting lineups for your Indians. Coach Owens hopes he's got the same winning combination ICC and Coke has. That's a winning combination. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineups here in Game 2.
Leading off is going to be Maddie Porter playing shortstop in Game 2. Lakeland Nichols still in center field, batting 2nd. Marlard, the designated player, batting 3rd. Shands at third base, bats 4th. Sadie Stegall, the first baseman, bats 5th. Batting 6th is Duhan, the shortstop. Batting 7th in right field is McClendon. Batting 8th is Goodman behind the plate at the catcher position. And batting 9th will be Green in left field. And Lily, your pitcher, is in the flex position.
That pitch high and outside for a ball. This is to be Porter, Nichols, and Marlar due up here for the Indians in the bottom of the first. We'll take a look at some stats on Swilly here in a moment, being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. That pitch in there for strike. 1-1 now is the count.
Swilly is the ace pitcher, if you will, for Holmes. She comes in with a 1.96 ERA, 5 wins and 3 losses and 9 appearances. She's pitched 50 innings so far, giving up 43 hits, 19 runs.
Beautiful off-speed pitch there, swing and a miss for strike 2.
14 of those earned. She's walked 13 but struck out 29.
And those stats being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi, helping you get back in the game. We appreciate them and their sponsorship as that pitch missing outside for a ball. 2-2 now is the count.
Porter got on base 3 out of the 4 times in Game 1, all 3 times by a walk. did score 1 run.
2-2 pitch on its way in the dirt. Gets away. Nobody on base to have to worry about there. 3-2 now is the count. Looks like Holmes is already going to send someone to start getting loose in the bullpen here. And, well, that's an early move there.
Yeah, that is Sarton, who we saw come in relief in game 1. Looks like she's going down. And number 7 is Aslan, who was the starting pitcher. So that's 2 of their pitchers who've went down there together. One's probably just catching for the other.
It looks like it's going to be 7 taking the warm-up. Actually, they're both taking the warm-up
Both
tosses.
of them
Yeah,
just
they're
tossing back and forth, yeah. That's very interesting because Swilly is number 9 in the conference with that 1.96 ERA. So she is one of the top pitchers in our conference of keeping people down.
3-2 pitch, and that's going to be called strike 3. So got her looking there. A big-time Renaissance Bank strikeout. First of the game there for Swilly. And now with 1 out, this is going to bring Nichols to the plate. And so now Nichols will dig in. She scored the game-winning run, or the mercy rule invoking run, if you will, in game 1 on a very aggressive move on an infield hit. She scored from second. She swings on that one. Pitcher finds it and zips it over for the out. Maybe they just need to send in some pitchers to maybe get Swilly to lock in and focus, as she is, since they've entered, thrown 3 pitches and gotten 2 outs.
We have all seen that during many games, that sometimes that is some motivation when you see people run to that bullpen, or you hear a coach tell people to get some at-bats. They get out there and get loose because you might get to hit for somebody.
Yeah.
You can kind of, focus kids in. You never know what's going to motivate a athlete at different times.
That pitch drops in for a strike, as this is Marla, the DP, here in game 2.
Game 1, she was 1 for 3 with an RBI single. Also scored a run. She was also hit by a pitch.
Reaches down after that one, swing and a miss. Or excuse me, actually fouled it off, I should say. 0-2 now is the count. Now the wind's starting to shift a little. Well, now it's shifted back. I was going to say it's blowing towards the right field foul pole, basically foul pole to foul pole. But, boy, if it's shifting that quickly and that bad, you can't see it right now, but the light poles here at the ballpark are shaking some kind of nasty. So that pitch outside for a ball.
Yeah, that one straight down left field line is just rocking back and forth, back and forth.
1-2 now. The count here on Marler, trying to extend the inning here. No score in the bottom of the first. Nice job coming with a little all-speed. Marler ahead of that one. And that is the second Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game for Swilly. We'll take a break. No score here after 1. And let's hear from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Hey, honey, could you help me with this? Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Welcome back now as we head to the top of the second inning. Sun trying to peek out at times, and it quickly goes away as soon as it does, as this will be the 5, 6, 7 batters, Sweeley, Simpson, and Williams scheduled up here. Lily still in the circle here for ICC. No score here as we start the top of the second. That pitch going to miss low for a ball. 1-0 the count.
Swilly pitching in game 2 was the designated player in game 1. She had a pair of strikeouts looking. So she was a victim to Alyssa Clift twice.
So 1-0 is the count. This one hit hard, lifted, and right fielder will call everyone off and make the play for out number 1. Well, again, you have to pause on those now what seems to be routine fly balls, although the wind was not blowing there. But the way the wind is blowing today, we saw the one ball hit earlier in game one where it was headed to center field, shifted to short, then it eventually blew back into the second baseman. So it's going to be quite the adventure when the ball's lifted into the field, into the air this afternoon. Andy, as a coach, how do you prepare for that?
Yeah, you've got to constantly telling your outfielders to pick up grass, and because we don't want to be doing what you said, kicking your feet around on the infield, but throwing up a little grass in if the wind is changing, and then relaying it to the infielders as the infielders are turning and looking and communicating with them.
So fouled out of play for strike two.
Communication is a key on a day like today because that wind is blowing and it's hard to hear. I mean, for us up here, we're kind of blocked from it. We feel it every once in a while, but down there it's blowing in their ears all the time, and they really got to be vocal. And you got two pitchers here today in game two that they give up a lot of contact. They're not real strikeout pitchers, so a lot of plays going to have to be made in these 21 outs here for 18 more to go. At least.
Yeah, that pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Look at you doing, man.
Unless Mr. Upton wants some overtime, extra innings, as they say.
Well, if Mr. Gore's paying overtime pay, then we'll take some.
No OT here. 1-2 pitch. Confused her, and they're going to say it was not a foul ball.
He said on the arm.
That ball sure did change directions.
Say the ball changed directions very sharply. And so it will be a strikeout, but will advance on the pass ball.
Or drop third strike.
Drop third strike. So do we call that an error? I mean, I'm with you on this one. I have to have a little bit more of a conversation because the ball did take a drastic change of direction as there's going to be a bunt laid down. This sacrifice bunt will get the job done there. As that was Williams with the sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07 over in the Fine Arts Building.
Yeah, on that swing, it definitely changed directions. Undoubtedly, the umpire must have thought it went off the catcher's glove.
It must have. There's a grounder right back up the middle. It won't matter. Great job defending her position there that time by Lily to get back-to-back 1-3 putouts to end the inning. As we'll take a break, let's hear a few words from our sponsors and be back with more right after this.
It's the Fast Break Sports Show that starts your day. Mississippi Sports Today, Tuesday through Friday at 9. And if you don't catch it at 9, the MST podcast is on wherever you listen with a team of hosts like no other.
For the folks that are listening, I mean, yeah, there is egg salad, but Drew is bringing like a refrigerated, like a pack. So
it's going to be refrigerated.
Egg salad, 24-hour egg salad. We're dropping like flies.
Join Craig and the guys for Mississippi Sports Today on Super Talk 1019.
Guaranty Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC Athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranty Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back as the great debate continues here. As we're going to officially score that as a Renaissance Bank strikeout. And then in my scorebook, I'm putting E2/wild pitch ? As we were really unsure what the umpire saw to be able to call that. So don't know if it was a dropped pitch or if it was a wild pitch. So we'll just have to go back at the end of the day and see what the coaches recorded as that first pitch in there for a strike.
This is Shands, the third baseman. She went 2 for 4 in game one.
And Shands heard coach say swing, swing, swing.
Yep,
and
legal pitch. That's why. And the offense has the option to take it. So, I mean, if she, even though it hit the dirt, if she just golfs it out of here, we get to take the home run, or whatever. But now their pitching coach is going to come out for an explanation to find out why the legal pitch was called.
All right, so does that mean it's a 2-0 count now?
Yes, that would be an automatic ball.
So 2-0 count. Now, that's a heads-up play by Coach Owens to say swing, swing, swing there. It's, as you said, it's one of those where you do have the option. If she happens to run into a home run, you can take the home run. If she pops out, then you can say, okay, we don't want that result. Let's just take the illegal pitch.
And she definitely could do that. As I said, she went 2 for 4 in that game one with a big 2-run home run and the game-winning or the game-ending RBI as well.
That's whereas if you're coaching third like Coach Owens, you let the when you see it and you're not able to get the third base umpire to call it, you try to signal something, have some kind of signal with your first base coach to get in the first base umpire's ear a little bit, watching it, whether the foot's sliding forward or they're hopping or they're leaping or whatever they're seeing that they see as illegal.
And conversation continuing here is now they're
trying to clarify the call because home plate's trying to say 1-1.
Okay, so they are going to say it is a 1-1 count.
I think he had the third base umpire on his side, but just wanted to clarify.
Was the first pitch a strike?
Yes,
first
pitch
just
was
hit.
strike.
All right, just heard. Okay, so yeah, that would be a 1-1 because that was just a free pitch there. I did notice that their outfield is playing deep for the reasons you're talking about, Mr. Upton, of the power that Shands does have.
So 1-1 now is the count. This one popped up a mile high, but I think the wind's going to force this one out, and the shortstop couldn't find it.
Yeah, third baseman thought she had it, but was going underneath it, had a bad angle, lays off to the shortstop, and neither one of them could get it. So break there for Shands.
They call that the Bermuda Triangle, and today with this wind, it definitely is because, I mean, that thing just got up there and just stopped.
I call it the Arkansas Triangle if you watched the College World Series a few years ago.
Oh, against Oregon State.
Yes, sir.
That pitch in the dirt for a ball, 2-2 now is the count.
If they pull that one out, how many would the SEC have won in a row now? That would have been an extra one.
7 or 8 in a row.
Crazy.
So waiting the 2-2 pitch here. This is Swilly in the circle. And kind of just had to check swing on that when it goes foul. Nice job by Shands justifying a piece of it.
It's going to take a lot of discipline for the Indians today against Swilly. You can see why she's so tough. She is changing speeds and not blowing you away, you know, with her speed. But when she's throwing so much off speed, it does make her hard stuff look that much faster.
2-2 pitch fouled off, and we'll sit at 2-2 once again here.
But Shands continuing to battle, reaching out and getting a piece of these just to keep herself alive.
So the count stays at 2-2 after the foul ball. That one hops across. Now the count goes full. Got a nice little battle, as you said here, Upton, between Swilly and Shands. Wind picking up, and it is blowing into the first base dugout now. Now it's shifting to the third base dugout. Just showing you how crazy the wind is today. There's a hit, and it's going to drop right back up the middle.
That is why you keep those battles going. She finds one that she can get a hold of, drives it right over the pitcher's head, drops just over second base into shallow center field. Gets ICC, its first hit of this game.
Nice job leading it off there with a single right back up the middle, as now this will be Stegall coming to the plate.
She was 1 for 2 in the first game. Had a double, a walk, and scored a pair of runs.
Lays down a beautiful bunt here, and it's going to be only one play. And that's going to be another sacrifice bunt being brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union. Reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. Tell you what, the pitcher didn't get the best jump on that one. Thought for a second that they may have a chance to leg one out for an infield single, but a great job by Swilly, not panicking, getting it set and throw it across for the out.
And she throws it with some conviction when she throws it to first base, too. She got out there quick.
This is Duhan at the plate, takes that first pitch for a strike.
She might have been a former infielder at some point. You know, dual players, most are in high school and travel ball. But, you know, with the probably low-scoring game, getting on the board first is, you know, very critical right here.
There's a shot, and it's a fair ball. Nope, they're going to call it foul.
The third base umpire, who was our home plate umpire in game one, never made a call.
And the home plate umpire never made a call.
Yeah, they were waiting on the home plate. She never made a signal.
He stayed in his crouch and never came up and went foul or until everything has happened. Now, I will tell you, here's what you can do. If you don't know if it's fair or foul,
you go.
The umpire.
And now the umpire's having words with the crowd.
He sure is. You don't like to see that.
I hit the replay, but unfortunately it wasn't.
The thing is, if an umpire calls a ball foul, it's dead. That completely kills a play. But if they let it play out, they can go back and could get together and talk and change it to a foul ball, but you're never able to change a foul ball to fair because it stops the play.
That pitch missing outside, 0-2 now is the count.
Duhan is the hottest player on the day at the plate for the Indians, going 3 for 3 in game one. A pair of doubles and a triple.
Got some more football coaches and players showing up.
This one fouled back. As now the count 1-2. Yeah, I guess they're got spring drills going on right now, some workouts, and coming out to support the Indians. See Lucas and EJ, the coaches, leading the way out here. And Coach, you can speak about this back in your day. That's one thing we saw in game one as this pitch is fouled deep out of play. We'll sit at 1-2 once again. We saw in game one, volleyball was out here supporting the team. Then now football out here. We see the basketball coaches out here as well. So it's just great to see that type of support between the programs.
It is huge. It's just a big community because your athletes are always on campus. You know, even when the regular students go home, athletes are always
out. We heard that one all the way up here.
Duhan stays on base, not the way she wanted, but
that on base percentage, she keeps finding a way.
Yeah, that one for sure hurt there. She heard the thud all the way up here in the press box.
Need a second to walk that one off as she stretches that knee out.
Yeah.
The umpire is going to give her time, thankfully.
Yeah, she's giving it a thumbs up, says he's okay. It's one of those you hope kind of caught her in the thigh versus in that side of that knee.
Yes.
Or right above that knee. Of course, this is three old dudes talking about it. You know, you're talking about a young player out there that can shake that off in a hurry. But if it's one of us, we're not walking for the next week.
Nah, you probably roll me off the field. I'm going to sit over here and watch for a little while.
This is McClendon at the plate. Takes that first pitch for a ball.
She came in as a pinch hitter in game one, had an RBI single. Helped contribute to the Indians' 9-1 victory.
Yes, that was a huge hit coming off the bench.
Thought about that one, holds off on it, and they're going to call it a ball.
Mr. Upton, just like you would like, you know, she's been so successful pinch hitting, she's earned herself a start here to get some more at bats. You know, she's proven it to coach, and she's been in limited action really coming through, so she's going to get more at bats.
2-0 is the count here to McClendon. One out, runners on first and second. That pitch drifts up high for a ball. Now the count goes full, 3-0.
As you talked about all day, Coach, you start putting runners on base, you put pressure on that pitcher, and we see Swilly looking a little less focused now that she's got two on.
So imagine the red light to be on right here for McClendon with a 3-0 count. It was, and they walk her.
Bases full of Indians.
So bases loaded here, brought to you by Samstown Market in Manatee. Fans, remind you next time you want to load your plate, the best place to start is right there in Samstown Market in Manatee. As we'll have a meeting in the circle here. We'll keep it here. Coach, I know one thing you like to do when you come to town is bring a cooler with you. Stop by if you got time at the end of the day to go see Sam and the rest of the folks out there. And if we can get done early enough today, that's your plans?
That is my plans. I've already asked Miss Dana, and she loves them. Mr. Scott will butterfly her a, is that how you say it? Butterfly fillet. Yep. She likes the fillet, and he'll butterfly it, cut it for her. And I'm a pork chop man, and, man, they will hook me up. My cooler has got ice in it, and it is ready for me to go home and grill tomorrow night or Friday night. And, yes, I'll be stopping at Samstown on the way home.
One of my favorite things they do is they have what they call a poor man's filet. The pork chop wrapped in bacon.
Oh.
It's a thick-cut pork chop. You can't beat it.
Delicious.
Melt in your mouth. You ain't trying to make us hungry for it.
I'm already hungry, so I'm just trying to get y'all on board. Bases loaded here as this is going to be Goodman who is catching here in game two. We'll dig in with one out. Takes that first pitch outside for a ball.
It's Goodman's first plate appearance of the afternoon, not played in game one. She's batting .355. He's got 11 hits, 7 runs scored, a double, and a home run.
So 1-0 is the count. Listed that one in there for a strike. Nice job by Swilly to come back and even up the count at 1-1.
And a good job of Goodman to take. I mean, she just walked the batter in front of her on 4 pitches, threw a ball, 5 in a row. You just got to take there until she throws a strike. Just keep the pressure on her.
Pitch coming. Zoe looks at that one. It's in there for a strike, so now the count 1-2.
Yeah, caught that outside corner. She was hoping that one would float away on there, but stuck in there.
So there is one out. Bases loaded here for ICC in the bottom of the second. Grounder. Second baseman is going to find it. It will be a productive out as ICC will get the run.
Great situational hitting right there. You know, even with the base load, you love to hit one off the wall, but just getting contact. You know, not letting the pitcher off the hook with a strikeout and then putting the pressure on a slap hitter with the bases loaded. She was able to get that ground ball and get the RBI, and now you got a chance for a single to score 2 more runs.
And this is going to be Morgan Green coming to the plate.
And that all-important first run of the game.
Exactly.
Green takes a healthy chop at that first one, fouls it back for strike 1.
Talking about the other sports supporting each other, you know, you really respect the ones, the coaches that are in the fall sports that will come out to the spring sports. You know, their seasons are over, even their kids and stuff, and just coming out because the spring sports do that to the fall. You know, they're there at the soccer, the volleyball, the football games, basketball, and all that. And it's just a big community. And one of the things that we all, as employees or former employees, ICC, is just why we love this family, because it is a big community, big family.
1-1 is the count. Runners on second and third. Green takes that pitch in there for a strike. 1-2 now is the count. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Second and third. ICC trying to build on this 1-0 lead here. Green swing and a miss. Clutch Renaissance Bank strikeout, though, for Holmes to get out of the inning with minimum damage done. We'll take a break. Let's hear from Renaissance Bank and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my brain.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back as we head now to the top of the third inning. 1-0 ICC with the lead, trying to get the sweep of Holmes. As ICC won the first game of the day, 9-1 in 6 innings. As it'll be the 9-1-2 batters due up. Billy, Miles, and Fabry due up for the Bulldogs. Grounder right back to the pitcher. Ellie gets it and tosses it over.
This will be a big inning right here. Third inning, of course, going 9-1-2, and the 9 hitter gets out. So now they're back to their leadoff, and then in the bottom of the third, we'll have our leadoff coming up. So who can win this inning will be vital to this game right here as we go forward.
That was the third straight 1-3 putout for Lily, as now we go back to the top of the lineup here in Miles.
She flew out to center to lead off the game back in the top of the first inning.
Anticipating the slap hit, so the outfield is very shallow in the situation and pretty safe to play that today, because if you hit anything up in the air the way the wind's blowing, it's not going to carry unless you just absolutely blister it or hit one of those wind cheaters. 1-0 is the count here to Miles, who is the DP. Grounder, third baseman, gets it, throw across the way, and that is going to be out number 2.
I was watching an interesting conversation before that ball was hit. The first base coach for Holmes is having a conversation with the first base umpire. With her being the pitching coach, it's all about the illegal pitch called, you know, before the inning before and stuff.
Yeah, so she might either be trying to get an explanation on that or maybe even lobbying to see if you can get it called here.
Exactly.
So now with 2 outs, this is going to be Fabry, who singled but was erased on a fielder's choice. Swings on this one, fouls it off the netting, strike 1.
So good. It's a big batter to keep off base for the Indians right here.
She does have the only hit for the Bulldogs in this game.
You know, talking about, this time of year when we play conference games is Whenever we're home against a team, we're away against a team. Baseball went on the road yesterday against the number 24 Bulldogs, and they got a sweep on the road as that pitch across for a strike. 0-2 now is the count. A wild game one. It was an 18-12 final in 9 innings. ICC tied the record for second most home runs in a single game, second most hits in a single game. Those stats going all the way back to 2013, as that's going to be a foul ball. We'll stay at 0-2. And then the Indians come back, win the nightcap 9-5. They hit a total of 8 home runs in that doubleheader. So the Indians, the tribe, starting to warm up there in baseball.
Indeed, those bats are getting hot.
They'll have to get it extra hot this weekend as they're hosting the number 4 East Central. That'll be our next broadcast here on the Red Channel. Right back to her. And what about Lily doing a great job today defending her position out of the last 5 outs. The last 4 have gone the way of Lily just grabbing it right back up the middle. All some hard hit balls as well. So we'll take a break, come back with the bottom of the third, where it will be the 1-2-3 batters due up for the Indians. Let's hear from Guaranteed Bank and be back with more right after this.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
All right, Little Caesar's Crazy Puffs. Whoa!
Is this little Becky?
Birthday cake comes out. It is so cute. My dad's eating Crazy Puffs again. Don't ask.
Whoa. Have you tried the new bacon ones?
There are bacon ones?
Pizza.
Welcome back as we head now to the bottom of the third inning. ICC leading it here 1-0. 1-2-3 batters due up. Porter, Nichols, and Marlar for ICC here in the third inning. Coach, you were talking about, how the first base coach for Holmes is also the pitching coach. She was talking to the umpire that called the illegal pitch there earlier. Well, during the break, she was going over with her pitcher why it was called. So good job of being a good coach and taking advantage of that opportunity.
It was an excellent job, yes. She was explaining exactly what he was seeing and why. I guess the first base umpire explained to the coach why he was calling that, with her, how she was setting up was not like the way he wanted. And all umpires are different, She's probably done this the same way the whole season, but you've got to do what they want you to do. Just like, you got to throw strikes where they want you to throw strikes. Well, you got to get your feet positioned the way they want it, and even if you've gotten away with it for a while. Yeah. And we've had a few of those here that have gotten away with a lot of things until you get that certain umpire, and then you got to settle it back down, because both umpires are watching her right now from first and third base lines.
That pitch scoots across for a ball. 2-1 now is the count. Well, other than the win, it's an absolute beautiful day for softball here. As it looks like we may have another malfunction of the equipment that they're trying to call. And be honest with you, I would be surprised if some dirt got up in it and caused an issue.
That could definitely.
Yeah, they have constantly gone back and forth with that wristband issue there. So
the one advantage of the wind is, remember how dark it was a while ago with those clouds? Where'd those dark clouds go?
Yeah, they are gone now.
They're at your house.
Yes, yeah, they are. Most definitely don't need no rain out there, as the water is up at the lake for sure. As talking about having to let some of it out in case the next rain comes through. As now they're going to switch from the electronic caller to the old school numbers.
Yes. Yeah.
That's something just to show you, like, a lot of times how, like, I get bored sometimes. I like to figure out the pattern of that call. I know you're not supposed to be able to decrypt it, as they say, but there's been a few times, and I actually ran a couple of pitches to Coach Munson that once I kind of picked up on the call, and then, of course, they switched pitchers shortly thereafter. So now we're back to action after that diatribe of nothing.
We used to have a whole bunch of cards, different color coded, that we could change out every inning if we ever thought another team was starting to catch on to what we were calling. If we were calling something too many times or whatever, the same number. The one thing we always try to tell our pitchers is that the hitters are not smart enough to know if you're actually throwing it where you're supposed to be throwing it or not. I'm calling inside, you're throwing outside. Right here, the wind's blowing. It's going to move the ball around some too. So main thing is just don't show emotion and just keep battling while you're up there.
Holmes has had several people down in their bullpen. They're starting to leave now, but
3-1 pitch just right down the middle for a strike. Taking the whole way that time was Porter. Now the count goes full at 3-2. Yeah, 4 of them are exiting the bullpen now. So waiting the 3-2 offering here to Porter as we start the bottom of the third inning. Porter swings on this one, fouls it off right towards the coaches, and tell you what, the pitching coach needs to thank the head coach because he slapped that one down as she was trying to get out of her seat. Might have saved her from taking a foul ball there.
Yeah, that's the other thing about softball compared to most of your baseball stadiums is that dugouts are a little bit closer to home plate in most instances, and it gets there in a hurry.
3-2 now is the count. That pitch high, and Porter's done a good job today of drawing walks. That's the 4th walk she's drawn in this series.
yeah, her on-base percentage after today is going to be significantly higher, I believe.
Yeah, I've been hit with one of those foul balls. We were down at Delta State. Autumn Bonner was sitting next to me, and of course, you know what Autumn's response was? She laughed as it hit me smooth underneath the eye, and she didn't ask to say, "Gore, are you okay?" She just laughed, and I was, didn't expect anything different from her though.
What are friends for, man?
Shows bunt, pulls back, and takes that pitch high for a ball. 1-0 is the count.
This is Nichols, the center fielder. She grounded out right back to Swilly in the first inning.
Got a runner at first here, no outs. Indians trying to pick up an insurance run here in the bottom of the third. Shows the bunt, lays it down perfect. Only one play, and it's over to first. And that's going to be another sacrifice bunt there being brought to you by the ICC Wesley Foundation. They meet Tuesday nights across the street from the Davis Event Center, 5-3 on the put out there.
Tell you, as a fundamental play there by Holmes. I mean, coming and fielding the ball, throwing it across. You see your outfielders, your center fielder was backing up if they threw to second base. Your left fielder was over here backing up third base. Everybody's right where they're supposed to be. That's all you can ask for as a coach.
Marler chases an off-speed pitch there. Strike one, and that's the small things of the game. I know as a coach being able to sit up here, you can see it from this point of view. You got to love seeing those type of, just what you're coached to do.
Exactly. Just seeing the fundamentals and people being where they're supposed to be. And, you know, first-year coach, he's putting stuff in his program, and everybody was where they're supposed to be on that play.
Swing and a miss there as these last 2 pitches have confused Marler on the off-speed.
Yeah, Swilly really had her confused the entire first at-bat in the first inning as well.
So 0-2 now is the count with 1 out and a runner at second here for the Indians. And it's going to be a dribbler forward, and it's going to be a throw over to first in time. Runner does head to third. So it does advance the runner in that situation, but now there is 2 outs. And this is going to be Shands coming to the plate.
Shands has been hot today. Had a big 2-run homer, game-ending RBI single in game 1. She singled and eventually scored the only run of this game so far.
A little dirt devil popping up again as the wind swirling there at home plate. Thought for a second they might have thought about putting her on as the coach had come out to say something. Then the pitching coach said, hold on, no. Wait a second, is that pitch high for a ball? So maybe one of those, see if you get her to chase one, unintentional, intentional walks.
Exactly, especially on the first maybe 2 pitches, 3 pitches. If she doesn't, then you might go ahead and put her on here. But be very careful.
Ball in the dirt, gets away, and this is going to allow the run to score.
That was a great thing about at least AB battling, you know, and fouling, putting that 0-2 pitch in play was allowing Porter the opportunity to get to third for that to happen.
So she will score on the pass ball. Well, actually, wild pitch because it was in the dirt before it got to her.
Wild pitch.
Shands thought about it, holds off on it. 3-0 now is the count. So 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Feel like the red light to be on here for Shands. Is that pitch across? Coach, let me ask you that. You got a bat that Shands has been red hot here of late. 3-0, traditionally you take the whole way there. With nobody on, 2 outs, you give her an option if she sees something she thinks she can absolutely drill.
Usually you have a couple on the team that you would let them, if they feel it, let them swing it.
Grounder to third, throw across the way. Nice stretch at first to get the out and end the inning. But the Indians do take advantage of a wild pitch, score a run to go up here 2-0 after 3 complete. We will take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Welcome back. Once again, a very quick inning here, but now the umpires are going to meet as Coach Owens was very vocal between the innings there, feeling like that the pitcher was still doing the same thing that she got called for an illegal pitch earlier on. And so now they're going to come out and talk about it again. Now the Holmes coach is going to come out and talk about it. Or no, actually she's going to first base as they're batting. But I imagine she'll have that conversation over there as well. A lot of times, we talk about how coaches, handle situations. If you don't really try to show up an umpire when they do call that illegal pitch and you're respectable and receptive to what he says, sometimes they give you a little bit of leniency. That's what we talked about earlier in Game 1, Andy, about learning how to work the umpires.
That's exactly right. Umpires, like most humans, we don't like to admit it all the time, but they have pride too.
Yeah,
they don't want to be embarrassed in front of a crowd, or they're trying to do the best job they can. And if you can go up to them with a smile on their face, you can say about whatever you want to, as long as you're not too loud. And there's some umpires that can come to you with a smile on their face and tell you a few things they don't like about how you're coaching, and you respect that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's never happened to you, though.
No. We just kind of a little back and forth, But it's all in the sportsmanship of the game, and that's what it is. We just have to, we take it serious, but it is a game, and their coach is going to come down. He's going to talk to their hitter a little bit, and he's probably going to have a little bit about that pitch. She may
got some dirt in the eye.
I believe she did.
Is trying to
I think that's
rub it out.
He's going to see if he can get a free timeout and check on her there too. Yep.
That's the thing, they hose the field down, but when the wind blowing the way it is, it's going to dry up as soon as the water hits. So 2-1 now is the count.
That's a great point. Yes, that wind dries that field quicker than anything.
It is blowing into home plate. There's a shot, and it's going to get through for a hit. Nicely done there, as that was Jones leading things off with a single. Second hit of the game. And now this will bring McGee to the plate.
Second time on base in this game for Jones. She reached on a fielder's choice, and now she's on by single. McGee flew out to center field to end the first inning.
Here as a coach offensively, you got to think about, do you still, play the small game, bunt a little bit here, try to play for that 1 run even though you're down by 2, knowing that there's a lot of, 4 more innings left to play?
Yep.
Or do you try to swing away and get for a bigger inning right here, because you are right in the middle of your order is the cleanup hitter? Is that right?
Number 4 batter, yes.
Number 4 batter. So, do you play for a little bit bigger inning?
She flew out to left in her only appearance so far. Rips that one up the middle. Nice grab there at short. Gets 1. Do they get 2? No, just miss it. Great stretch there by Stegall to try to turn 2. Of course, our double play is being brought to you by Little Caesars. That one about as close as you can get without turning 2 there.
That ball, that was played perfect, too. I mean, as a hitter, she hit that ball as hard as any ball has been hit today, too. But it's right at somebody. Luckily, the shortstop and almost turned it. And if that ball gets past her, it's rolling to the fence probably.
Swilly rips one and right at the right fielder. And they're going to turn 2. There's the Little Caesars double play. Great job out there in right field. McClendon with the rare 9-3 double play on the line out, and then the throw out there. It's just one of those, if you're the Bulldogs, you tip your cap and say, good play, you got us on that one. Let's hear from Little Caesars and be back with more right after this.
Try Little Caesars Stuffed Crazy Crust. Everyone loves it, including Justin Jefferson and all his friends.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread?
That looks mighty delicious, Justin. It It sure does, Mr. Pumpernickel. And at $9.49, it's the lowest price in stuffed crust with no strings attached.
No strings attached? You want a piece of me?
No, Mr. Pumpernickel. Justin, run.
Order delicious stuffed Crazy Crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as they're not wasting any time between innings here, as we are in the bottom of the fourth. I didn't have the correct inning up there.
Coach Owens continuing to have conversations with the home field umpire, seeing if the pitches in this inning can be consistent with what we got earlier in the game in terms of the motion that the pitcher is having.
So it'll be Stegall to start us off here. Takes that first pitch high and outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count.
Stegall had a sac bunt back in the second inning that advanced Shands over.
Back to the top of this inning, I mean, that's Holmes there with a base hit and then hit two really hard balls and didn't get anything to show for it.
Yeah, tough inning there. As you said, the unconventional double play brought to you by Little Caesars.
They barreled up 3 balls in one inning and got nothing. That does, I mean, that's just part of the game, and you might hit 2 little duck snorts that just fall in somewhere, or barely got in front of home plate, you know, just.
This one ripped deep, but foul. That was hard hit because that was into the wind. Would have been out of the ballpark for Sadie, but instead it just carried foul, and it actually hit the stairs out there. That's impressive with the way the wind was blowing into the park at that time.
She's already got 3 home runs on the year. She tried to get the 4th one right there.
2-1 pitch coming. That one high. Now the count goes 3-1.
Other thing I saw today, I meant to mention a while ago and got distracted, but somebody was playing disc golf out there. Can you imagine those things where they're flying today?
They'd come back and hit you in the face. 3-1 pitch. This one
there
ripped.
It is.
Trouble. It's over the head of the right fielder. This one's go for extra bases. And they're going to hold her up for a double there by Stegall.
And it's her second double of the afternoon, as she got one back in game 1 as well.
That's a great job of hitting, letting the ball get deep and hitting it to that side. That's you love to see that as a coach. That's staying on the ball, especially against a pitcher who's been changing speeds as well as she has with that changeup.
Now this is going to be Duhan, the second baseman at the plate. She battled and eventually won the at-bat when she was hit by a pitch. As that pitch going to miss low for a ball. 1-0 is the count. And it was one of those we heard the thud inside the press box as it hurt. So 1-0 is the count here to Duhan. ICC trying to see if they can build on this 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. That pitch up high. Snap throw down to second. It's not in time. Going to try to keep Sadie honest back there.
One of our favorite ICC sports fans is now in attendance here. As Mr. Cade Adams has joined us at the ballpark.
Key word on that name is Mr. He makes sure you know he's Mr. Cade. As this one popped up, left fielder will drift over and dance around and will have to come running in to make the play. And that was a well-struck ball, normally out of the ballpark, but instead turns into a routine, well, not even a routine out. It was one of those, it was blew back in on the warning track and still came up and probably about a good 4 or 5 yards off of that.
At the worst, you're at least getting to the warning track where your runner at second can probably tag up, and move up at least.
That pitch across to McClendon for strike 1.
Mother Nature, you gotta love her. I mean, that's just tough. That's just playing the elements today.
Yep.
And we're seeing a little of every element possible. Cloud, sun, wind.
Dust. McClendon looks at that pitch, low and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
Yeah, some of those dust devils like we saw on Friday, seeing those again today as well.
So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on second here for the Indians. They're up 2-0 here in game 2 over the Bulldogs, trying to complete the sweep this afternoon. As that pitch in there for a strike, 1-2 now is the count.
One thing I don't know if we mentioned, but how good the field looks.
Yeah.
Kurt doing a wonderful job. I mean, this is looking great after all the rain and different elements we've had, and cold, hot, cold, back and forth. Looking really great.
So 1-2 now is the count. Ball in the dirt, leaving things up at 2-2. Nice job blocking that one up. That Sadie, I thought, was going on the pitch that time, but they elected to hold up on it. If it gets by her, she's easily at third. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. McClendon at the plate. She walked in her only at bat so far here in game 2. Looks at that pitch high for a ball, and now the count will go 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, runner at second. ICC wanting to pick up an insurance run here. This one hit high, deep, and no, the wind's going to blow it back in. And the runner will advance to third, though, on that one. And
any other day, that's gone, Adam.
Yep.
Any other day, and I just looked at the flag right when that ball was in the air, and it had changed.
They started blowing back in. Yep.
Yeah, back in from that direction, yes.
So the runner able to advance on the fly ball out to center, as we said. Any other day, that one's out of the ballpark. As that pitch blocked up nicely there. And that's the thing. Now, if Holmes could get out of this inning with no damage done, that's 2 balls that probably would have left the ballpark any other time. You know, tip your cap, get out here with no damage done would be huge.
And this inning total, that's 6 hard hit balls.
Yeah, I would say Holmes even tattooed some.
Yeah, they hit 3 balls hard, only got 1 hit out of it. Sadie leads off with a double. We've hit 2 balls that were in the air. Both of them are barrels. It's just the elements are not carrying anywhere.
So 1-1 is the count. A nice all-speed pitch there, way ahead, was Goodman. Even had me stammering over the top of it. So now 1-2 goes the count. 2 outs and a runner on third here for the Indians. One-two pitch. Grounder. Look what I found as the pitcher stretches out, finds it, tosses it over for the putout. And the Bulldogs get out of the inning with no damage done. We'll take a break as we played 2-0. ICC with the lead. Back with more right after this.
It's the Fast Break Sports Show that starts your day. Mississippi Sports Today, Tuesday through Friday at 9. And if you don't catch it at 9, the MST podcast is on wherever you listen with a team of hosts like no other.
For the folks that are listening, I mean, yeah, there is egg salad, but Drew is bringing like a refrigerated, like a pack. So
it's going to be refrigerated.
Egg salad.
Yeah.
24-hour egg salad.
Yeah.
We're dropping like flies.
Join Craig and the guys for Mississippi Sports Today on Super Talk 1019.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back now as we head to the top of the 5th inning. As it be Simpson starting us off here. Simpson, Williams, and Glasgow scheduled up for the Bulldogs. They trail it 2-0. That was a big out to get out of that last inning with no damage done, as that first pitch missing low and outside for a ball. Lilly still in the circle here for ICC. It'll be the 6, 7, 8 batters due up. Simpson reached on, we're waiting to figure out if it was an error or a wild pitch, as we really didn't understand what the home plate umpire called, if it was a dropped strike 3 or if it was a wild pitch that got away or if it looked like a foul ball to us, but our opinions don't matter at the end of the day. 2-0 is the count. This one popped up. Trouble, and just again shows you what the wind's doing today as Green nearly runs into the infield from the outfield to make the play for out number 1.
Adam, once again, Holmes has sent pitchers down to the bullpen. Both Aslan and Sarton, who we saw both of them in Game 1, have both gone down there once again.
Yeah, they have been in and out of the bullpen quite often today, but has yet to pull the trigger on that Guaranteed Bank pitching change, as this one's popped up. And Nichols having to show off those wheels out there.
That's the one the wind got her. She thought she knew where it was, and then the wind held it up, and she suddenly realized she had to get there to it. But good job adjusting.
Yeah, it's one of those. She did what you're supposed to. You're supposed to watch it, take that step back. But unfortunately, that step back, if she didn't have that good speed that she has, might have hurt her there. But a nice job by Lakeland, able to come out and make the play. So with 2 outs now in the inning, that first pitch across for a strike. This is Glasgow at the plate. She's playing in right field. Grounded out 1-3 to end the second. Rips this one, trouble, and it's going to be over the head of the outfielder as they were playing in there, so that will drop for a double. Well, that's just one of those where the wind rarely died down that time. The outfield was playing in because of the wind today, and a nice job by Glasgow taking advantage and getting on second, and that's a big hit there because they need to find a way to see if they can push this run across and cut this lead in half.
She might have hit that ball right in the right spot where it was kind of at the scoreboard.
Yep.
Maybe the scoreboard blocked the wind a little bit.
Yep. That makes sense.
And got over her head. But talking about Nichols' play, I mean, speed shows up every day. That's what you always like. Baseball, softball, speed will show up every day. And Lily's done a great job. Defense has done a great job behind her, and we just need one more play right here to get out of this top of the 5th inning.
This is Billy, the shortstop. She grounded out 1-3 to start the 3rd inning. There is 2 outs and a runner at second. See if she can get her to chase one out of the zone there. Good eye by Billy to hold off on that one. 1-1 now is the count. 2 outs. Indians trying to get out of this inning here with no damage done. The Bulldogs trying to spark a rally as this one popped up. Second baseman will drift back and will make the play. And the Indians do get out of the inning there with no damage done. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. ICC leads it 2-0 here in Game 2. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank. We're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we come out of the timeout here, we move now to the bottom of the 5th inning. ICC up in this one 2-0, but this game's still in doubt, guys. You're looking at just running into 3 or 4 straight hits for the Bulldogs to get back in this one. So ICC trying to see if they can pick up some insurance runs here in the bottom of the 5th. As it'll be Green, Porter, and Nichols scheduled up.
Yeah, the Indians have started off the last 2 innings with runners on. Got to find ways to keep pushing those runs across.
Shows Munt, lays it down. Throw across the way is just in time.
Great pick by the first baseman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way to go to dig that one out.
Good job of good idea to try to see if you can sneak one in, and nearly did so. As you said, great pick as that throw was in the dirt. So 1 out there.
Yeah, if that ball gets by that first baseman and gets down that right field line, she's on second base easy.
So now back to the top of the lineup here, and Porter, who has walked in her last at bat. She did score a run on a wild pitch. She also struck out looking as that first pitch across for a strike.
This will be Porter's 3rd at bat.
Yes.
Correct.
3rd time through in the 5th inning. So let's see. That was our magic, last time. Let's see if we can get it going right here and lead off. Or at least get in the bullpen.
That pitch going to miss low for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Action continuing to brew in the bullpen over there for Holmes. 1-1 is the count. Porter at the plate. Rips that one. Shortstop off her glove. Going to have to hurry. Throw across the way. He's not in time. E6 has had to reach across her body, but a routine play there, and it's one of those that, again, Billy probably makes it her sleep, just couldn't make it there.
Yeah, comes up clean. She's got her easy, but at least the Indians do have the base runner. Brings up Nichols, center fielder.
She's 0 for 1 with the sacrifice bunt in her last at bat. Takes that pitch missing low for a ball. She made that nice play in center field the previous inning to show off her speed in the outfield. 1-0 is the count. Looks at that one. It's also missing low. 2-0 now the count. Here to Nichols.
As Nichols is reading the defense right here, you see the second baseman's covering second. If there's any way she could pull something through that side or bunt it past the pitcher, she could get on base. But that's a lot easier said than done because guess what? The other coaches are calling the pitches, and they're pitching away to their defense, and that's why their defense is shifted around for her to play, towards left field or hit it towards the left side of the infield.
And there's a shot to the third baseman. Going to try to go to second. We'll get the lead runner, so that'll be a fielder's choice. As that was 5-4 on the putout.
That's a very nice play by the third baseman right there. All right, AB's seen her twice here. She's got her with a soft, so maybe she get approached, try to hit something out to right field right here and just, wait a little bit longer.
That time chases one outside for a strike. 0-1 is the count.
And sometimes you have hitters, even your best hitters, your RBI leader here and everything, they just don't pick it up well off some pitchers. The pitcher just hides it from them, or they're just not picking up the spin, the speed, or the release point. And that kind of looks like, right now she's run out of bat a little bit, which means she's out in front of it and just not letting it travel, and she's just not picking it up well. That's probably what Coach Owen's telling her, refocus right here. Just hit us a ground ball through the second baseman right here.
Yep. Just solid contact.
Solid contact, yes. Just find a way to get contact. Slow yourself down.
So 0-1 is the count here to AB. Runner at first is Nichols with tons of speed. She goes. Throw is not going to be in time. Matter of fact, it hits Nichols.
Hits her.
I bet it didn't hurt her. She's tough.
Not at all. I talk about her like she's family, and I promise it hit her in her head. It probably hurt the softball more than it did her. Kidding, of course.
She's a tough kid, and you got your RBI leader up right here.
This one hit hard, but it's going to go foul and out of play. 1-2 now will be the count here on AB.
That's going to be stolen base number 21 on the year for Nichols. She got one in game one, and now one here in game two as well.
And she came into today number 4 in the state in stolen bases. So adding to that total, climbing that ladder.
That pitch goes high for a ball. I believe 2-2 now. Actually, he's going to call it 3-2.
He's going to call it 1-2.
And
now
it should be 2-2. It's 2-2.
Yeah.
Rare instance of the batter correcting the umpire.
And so now that is the count, 2-2. Pitch on its way. That one fouled off. Just found a piece of it to keep the at-bat alive.
That's a great pitcher's pitch, too, that she fouled off right there. So maybe AB's getting a little bit more confidence after fouling off a couple of balls here to stay on them.
So we'll sit at 2-2 once again after that foul ball. Runner at second is Nichols. Something on the line to the outfield will score Lakeland from second with ease. Instead, a nice job of going off speed, high out of the zone that time. AB couldn't catch up with it as they had her confused once again, and Holmes gets out of the inning with no damage done. We'll head to the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere, folks. Got a good one brewing here. ICC up in this one, 2-0. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Try Little Caesar's Stuffed Crazy Crust. Everyone loves it, including Justin Jefferson and all his friends.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread?
That looks mighty delicious, Justin.
It sure does, Mr. Pumpernickel. And at $9.49, it's the lowest price in stuffed crust with no strings attached.
No strings attached? You want a piece of me?
No, Mr. Pumpernickel. Justin, run.
Order delicious stuffed Crazy Crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next? What's next? So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the top of the 6th inning. ICC up 2-0 here to be the 1-2-3 batters. Miles, Fabry, and Jones scheduled up here for the Bulldogs. Miles 0 for 2 on the day. A fly out as there's going to be a ground ball. Throw across the way is in time, trying to see if they could sneak a bunt in there at 5-3 on the putout. That's what she did in her previous at bat.
That's 5-4.
Or excuse me, 5-4, thank you.
Yeah, good defense by the Indians to shift appropriately and cover all their positions there.
So with one out now, this would be Fabry coming to the plate. She's singled, but was erased on her fielder's choice. She grounded out to the pitcher to end the 3rd. So one away here in the top of the 6th. Liner, shortstop, gets it, throws over, and it's too tall. Error is going to keep the runner at first, though. One of those that the speed caused the error there, Coach.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what I was thinking. Yep. She, even though it was a one-hopper line drive ground ball type to her, she came up and looked, and that girl, Fabry was just flying down the line, and she rushed it, elbow dropped a little bit, and that speed of the game, it changes it.
Yeah, Fabry's got the speed, leading her team with 13 stolen bases.
So this is what we talked about with it being a 2-0 game right now. Got to be careful in this situation. With that type of speed on the bag, is that first pitch high for a ball. Jones singled her last time up. It was a race on the fielder's choice. She's also reached on the fielder's choice as well. So 1-0 is the count. Runner goes, and a great hit and run call there. It's going to be out to right field, and we'll have runners on the corners here for the Bulldogs. Coach can't draw it up much better than that.
That's exactly what I'll say. As a coach, there's no way you can draw it up much better than that. I mean, that's the only thing better is if it got all the way down the corner and you got maybe a double and a run scored, but as far as hit and run, that is it. Now you got pressure on the Indians here with the first and third defensive play of, are they going to try to get that tie and run in the scoring position right here? And you're getting to that point of the lineup where they hit those hard balls, you know, what in 4th inning. I believe it was 4th inning where they hit 3 hard balls.
Yep, McGee 0 for 2 on the day. Swings on that one, fouls it off for strike 1. She did reach on a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout back in the 4th. She also hit one. It was a fly ball out to left field, but it was well struck to end the 1st. So a dangerous batter. As the wind's starting to die down a little bit here at the ballpark. 0-1 is the count. That one runs inside, and they're going to allow the runner to take second without an issue there. Mainly paying attention to the runner at third, wanting to make sure she wasn't going to try to double steal at the same time.
Yep, here's the Indians. You just want to limit the damage. You know, 1 out, runner at third and second. You're probably going to give up a run right here, but you want to find a way to keep that tie and run from scoring if you can.
This one hit hard, and it's going to go foul. Whew. If you're an ICC fan, you take a deep breath and
say wind blow it that way. Keep going to that bullpen down there.
Yeah, it sliced in just about a foot over the line.
So,
McClendon did a good job of trying to be there, but.
So a break there for the Indians as that one would have tied the ball game with ease. 1-2 now is the count here to McGee. Lily in the circle. There's 1 out. Runners at second and third here for the Bulldogs. ICC up 2-0. That pitch high. 2-2 now is the count.
You'd love to have the strikeout if you could, but main thing is to get in and out, keep the run on second from scoring.
2-2 pitch. This one popped up, back and out, off the netting. And we'll sit at 2-2 once again.
Is that an out and banana ball?
It is.
Oh.
Yeah, all day long.
That's what I thought.
If you do the dance afterwards.
Oh, okay.
Got to dance, make it count.
You probably got to tell me these to dance.
Not at all.
They break into it.
2-2 steal the count here, 1 out. Lily's pitch on its way, off speed, but up for a ball. 3-2 now is the count.
Probably the biggest part of the day, too. The crowd's getting into it, both dugouts getting into it. A lot of cheering going on right here. A lot of excitement with this full count pitch coming.
So waiting the 3-2 pitch here. Lily's going to lock in and toss it. This one hit and foul. So we'll do it all over again at 3-2. Don't see anybody in the bullpen for the Indians.
Great battle going on between pitcher and hitter.
So 3-2 stays the count. Wind starting to pick up a little bit now, blowing out towards right field. 3-2 pitch. Ripped, and it's going to get down, and that's going to score one for sure. They're going to ask the second one to score, and she will. And there is a 2-run single off the bat of McGee, and we've got a tie ball game.
That's just a battle between the pitcher and the hitter won that time and hit it. I mean, that's two balls they've stayed on and hit them right down the right field line, 2-line drives, perfect positioning. And, I mean, Lily's doing a good job. She's keeping us in the game, but now you got to start over and you got to get outs.
So there is one out here in the top of the 6th. New ball game, as Coach mentioned. 2-2 now is the score, and this will be Swilly coming to the plate. She flew out to right, and her first at bat lined out to right and turned into a Little Caesars double play to end the 4th.
The way these balls have been falling with the last couple batters, things out there to right. If she keeps that up, that could be dangerous as well.
That pitch runs inside for a ball. 1-0 is the count here to the pitcher, Swilly. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out, runner at first. Little change up, had her full there, fouled it off. 1-1 now is the count. Well, you go back to that bases loaded situation for the Indians. You would have loved to have manufactured a few more runs, and credit the Bulldogs for getting out of that inning with no damage done, and it's proven to be large right now in this one. 1-1 pitch. This one popped up, hit a mile, but the wind will push that one foul.
What about this light pole here at third base?
Yeah,
it's about as bad as that one in left field.
It's doing everything but bending over backwards as that wind is, the flag is blowing pretty good, but you look at the trees, especially over there, if you look over towards the academic building, and how the wind on that upper level, it's really blowing a lot higher than what is showing on the flag out there. So it's a dual level wind that's causing some issues today.
I know Chris Stevenson is not on campus today, but if he was in his office right now with that tree blowing, I think I'd probably vacate it if I was him, just to be safe.
Most definitely. So the 2-2 pitch coming. And this one lifted, center fielder came up, now will charge back and will make the play for out number 2.
Good adjustment there. She got underneath it.
So a nice job by Lily coming back to win the battle there to get the fly out to center for out number 2. It looks like we'll have a new batter coming in this situation. This is going to be number 23 coming into bat for Holmes. And that is going to be Laura Riles. Laura Riles coming into bat here. She'll be batting in place of Simpson in that 6th spot.
She's from my wife's hometown, Grenada, Mississippi, Miss Dana.
There you go. So a little Grenada love out there as Coach wants to come out and talk to his pitcher here in this situation. Let's hear from Guarantee Bank real quick.
Guarantee Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guarantee Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back. No change made there, is just wanting to talk. And we'll also have a runner coming into this situation, as this is going to be number 21 coming in to run. This is Rivers Wilkins coming in to run in the situation here for the Bulldogs. So a important part of the ball game right now, the go-ahead run at first. And Wilkins, who's running in place of McGee. And now this will be Laura Rouse, we mentioned, from Grenada, stepping in here. Michael, you talked about some interesting stats on her as we took that quick break. And
it's her 4th official at bat. She's still looking for her first hit.
As thought he called it a strike, but the board showing 1-0. We'll see what he shows after this. So she will try to protect the dish here and see if she can make something happen. Grounder, and it's going to go foul for a strike. I've got it 0-2.
I believe you're right.
Well, wait and see what the umpire shows here. And I assume when he doesn't show anything that he agrees with what's on the board. It is 0-2. So an 0-2 count here on Riles. Pitch outside, runner is going to go, and she will get to second without an issue. Picked a good pitch to run on there as the pitch was low and actually in the dirt, so easy job advancing to second there for Wilkins. So now, with a 1-2 count, this pitch could be big here. Indians trying to find the exit. Bulldogs trying to extend the inning here. 1-2 is the count. Lily set to deliver. Pitch coming, grounder up the middle, and it's going to get through for a hit, and that's going to score the run. Clutch hit there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, if you're Riles, what a great time to get your first hit of the year, driving the RBI and take the lead here in Game 2.
Well, a big-time steal there as Holmes now goes up 3-2. And that was a clutch hit there, and we'll imagine we'll probably see a sub back in. I figure Simpson will re-enter to run in this situation. And that will be the case.
She does.
So she will come back in to run. Great call there. We talked about an interesting call, 0 for 3 on the year. Sometimes the coach, you just go with your gut and see somebody that's come through in practice throughout the week, put them in that situation, and they deliver. It makes you look good as a head coach.
It makes you look great as a head coach, you know, and exactly what you said, you know, practice. We don't see practice. We don't know what she's been working on in practice, but Coach felt comfortable to go with the right-handed batter or the left-handed batter right there, and she did come through. Those extra 60 feet come in big, too. If you can keep that force out, we always talk about force outs. If we could have kept that girl at first base, then you just got first and second here now. But her getting to second base, shortstop laid out for it, did all she could to keep it on the infield, but it snuck through.
Runner goes. The throw is not going to be in time, and nice job there backing it up as I think the wind actually kind of carried it away from the shortstop there. 2-0 now is the count.
Yeah, if you're a catcher throwing to second right now, you want to start that thing 3 or 4 feet to the left side of second base because it did. It carried it all the way.
It's kind of like Gore playing golf. He always adjusts for the wind just perfectly so that it moves his ball where he wants it to be.
100% is that pitch. Missing high and outside, 3-0.
No doubt, and the only person that will get closer to him is Mr. Jim Ingram on every shot. I don't know how he does it.
It's that backspin he has.
He needs a challenge is all he needs, a challenge, something to shoot at.
So 3-0 now is the count. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 now is the count.
I do see Cliff jogging down to the bullpen right now for the Indians and a catcher going down there to catch her.
So 3-1 is the count. 2 outs, runner at second. Ground ball, foul ball, and the count will go full.
Lily is not thrown bad at all. That's you know, it's 3 runs, and you know most games you'd think you'd have more than 3 runs, but it's not been a lot of hard contact this inning, but just hard ground balls and line drives where we're not at.
Yeah, if they put them where they ain't, as they say. 3-2 pitch. Liner to the second baseman, found it, throws it over, and that will end the inning, but not before the Bulldogs do get 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 ICC error. They lead it 3-2. ICC will be bringing the 4-5-6 batters to the plate when we come back right after this here on the ICC Sports Network.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next? What's next? So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Just never know.
Welcome back now as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 runs there in the top half of the inning. Bulldogs take a 3-2 lead here. And for ICC, it's going to be Shan, Stegall, and Duhan scheduled up. Let's see if the Indians can answer in the bottom half of the inning after. And I will say this, those were 3 well-earned manufactured runs by the Bulldogs in the top half of that inning.
You're exactly right. We talked about the 4th inning where they hit 3 balls hard and didn't get anything to show for it, and come back in that inning. And, I mean, they got the error, and then a perfect hit and run, then another line drive down the right field, then a pinch hit, single up the middle. And, I mean, next thing you know, that's 3 runs. But good thing is for the Indians, you got 6 outs to play with.
Absolutely. As this is Shands at the plate here. For the Bulldogs, you would love to get a 3-up, 3-down inning here. As that pitch in there for a strike.
Pretty pitch.
0-2 now is the count.
Just saw Dr. Allen coming back around, so there's our good luck charm to pull it out for these 6 outs. He's riding back around.
Not a bad spot to miss there with the pitch to burn. 1-2 now is the count here to Shands. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs as Shands leading us off here. And fouls that one off, and we'll sit at 1-2 once again.
And as an experienced pitcher, and have a great ERA as Willie does and everything, she's got the little boost right now with the lead that she's trying to be, focused in and not give us any base runners. So any way we can find a way to get on base will really put the pressure on the Bulldogs.
1-2 pitch. A little off speed, slow roller to the shortstop. Going to have to hurry. Throw over is in time for out number 1.
Yeah, she's kind of got that one off the end of the bat there. She reached out for it, dribbled out to the shortstop.
That's that tough changeup she's been throwing it. Yep, that's a hard lay off when it's starting to dive as it gets to home plate. Shortstop did a great job attacking that ball too.
Yeah, I'm saying if she doesn't charge up on it, that's going to be an easy infield single. As now this is Stegall who comes in, that first pitch in the dirt for a ball.
She had a big double to lead off the 4th. Unfortunately, she was stranded at 3rd and never came in that inning.
So 1-0 is the count, 1 out. Stegall at the plate. Awaiting the pitch here. Stegall takes that one inside for a strike. 1-1 now is the count.
It's that same inside pitch she threw and got a strike against Shands on as well.
Yeah, after Stegall smoked that ball to right field, they're trying to stay inside on her and see if she can make her pull the ball.
1-1 pitch. And she does that.
There you go.
There was that changeup. And she went in hard, and then she went soft, and got her out in front of it. Yeah, you think back to that bottom of the 4th where she let off of that double, and we only got her to 3rd base, never got her in, But, hey, good thing about these sports, there is no clock out there, Gore.
That's true.
You got to get every out.
So the 1-2 pitch on its way. That one up high and outside for a ball. Holmes fans wanted it for a strike, and they couldn't get it there. 2-2 now is the count.
I think the wind just blew it over a little bit, kept it off the plate.
So now the count goes 2-2 here to Stegall. Pitch on its way. Sadie pops this one up. Could be trouble. Nope, wind's going to hang it up. As a third baseman.
Almost trouble.
Yeah, I'm going to say, thought for a second it was going to drop in no man's land, but again, that wind just blew it right back towards the infield, and good communication. Good job not running into each other there and holding on for the out.
I think they both had their gloves under each other. It was just hanging up there. It's kind of like one of those punts. It just stands up, and one of them, shortstop, ended up catching it, and third baseman had her glove right up under it.
And now this is going to be Duhan at the plate. Takes that first pitch for a strike. We said it was well struck. Normally that one's going to drop right between the shortstop and the left fielder, but again, the wind blew it and checked it up, and a good job by the Bulldogs focusing and getting that out number 2. Big out there, that first pitch across for a strike here for Duhan. Duhan pulls that one foul. We'll go 0-2.
Yeah, Swilley's really working inside on these right-handed batters, forcing them to pull everything, as Coach said, and they're just not being able to get anything down. They're getting it right down that line into the foul territory.
She's relying a lot on her all-speed stuff right now, too. So see if ICC can find a way to time one of those up. 0-2 now is the count. That pitch outside for a ball. Again, not a bad spot to miss with a pitch to burn. 1-2 now is the count here to the second baseman, Duhan. She was hit by a pitch and then flew out to left, so she's 0 for 1 today. That one hung up outside. 2-2 now is the count.
Dugout got a little excited. They thought their catcher had framed it much better than she had, but never really was over the plate.
So what in the 2-2 offering here from Swilly? She's been a little bit more methodical with how she's working, not working with much pace. As this one's popped up, and right fielder will drift over, the second baseman will drift over and make the play in shallow right. And that's what we said. If the Bulldogs can find a way to get a 3-up, 3-down inning, that would be big, as it will keep the heart of the lineup. ICC is going to have to manufacture some stuff to get the heart of the lineup due up in the home half of the 7th. 3-2 is your score. Quick timeout. We'll be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Try Little Caesar's Stuffed Crazy Crust. Everyone loves it, including Justin Jefferson and all his friends.
Stuffed crust? Buttery garlic spread?
That looks mighty delicious, Justin.
It sure does, Mr. Pumpernickel. And at $9.49, it's the lowest price in stuffed crust, with no strings attached.
No strings attached? You want a piece of me?
No, Mr. Pumpernickel. Justin, run.
Order delicious stuffed Crazy Crust for $9.49 and get your game day delivered with Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Guaranteed Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranteed Bank, we're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a call to the bullpen being brought to you by Guaranteed Bank right here in Fulton, as Alyssa Clift will enter to pitch, the Game 1 winner who tossed a no-hitter in Game 1, had 8 strikeouts. Going to try to come in and see if she can navigate things for the Indians and see if we got a little bit of a rally going in the bottom of the 7th. Bulldogs scored 3 in the top of the 6th to lead at 3-2. So Cliff will come in now. Is that first pitch going to miss low for a ball?
This is Glasgow, the right fielder. She had a double in the 5th. Also grounded out to the pitcher in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, she was left stranded back in the 5th after that double, as there's a big swing and a miss. 1-1 now is the count here on Glasgow.
She did not bat in Game 1, so this is her first time today to get a look at Clift.
So now the count goes 1-1 as Glasgow starting us off here in the 7th. And that one called a strike. She checked her swing, but it was a strike on the pitch. 1-2 now is the count.
Yeah, that's that same inside spot to the right-handed batters that he is being consistent with, given the pitchers.
So 1-2 now is the count. Pitch on its way. This one popped up and just going to carry. No, actually it stayed in play, but I thought it was going to carry. But great hustle over there by McClendon and Duhan trying to make the play and nearly got to it.
They hit off the fence.
It hit the fence right there at the gate to the bullpen.
Wind did kind of shifted a little bit away from them. But 1-2 now is the count here to Glasgow. Cliff getting set to deliver. This one fouled right back at us.
Upton had it all day.
So 1-2 is the count. I'll admit I flinched. And the ball is probably 20 yards away from us with the net.
Means you got good eyesight.
I eat my carrots. 1-2 pitch. Popped up, back, and out of play. That one will head towards the Dr. Chad Case pickleball court. Still waiting to hear about the matchup between Dr. Case and Dr. Boggs in the near future, a charity event that we're trying to put together here at ICC.
Great fundraiser. Ain't no telling how many people will come out. It'll probably standing room only, I'm sure.
So the 1-2 pitch. Grounder, it's going to get through for a hit. Nicely done there by Glasgow. Good battle, fouled off a couple of pitches, found a way to sneak it past a diving third baseman for a leadoff single to start the top of the 7th. So we mentioned that pickleball match because Dr. Allen's in here. We know if anybody can make it happen, Dr. Allen can make it happen for us.
Number 9 batter up. You expect a bunt here to see if they can extend the lead.
That is what they do, and they lay it down perfect. Only one play, and it's not in time.
Wow. A lot of speed by Billy there.
It was. That was her first time to see Clift as well. That's why I was saying the bunt. And you probably might get another bunt right here with leadoff hitter because your 2 and 3 hole hitters are coming up after that. But That was a bang play.
Yeah.
I thought we had her.
I just went back and looked down on the replay, and she did get that foot down.
Yeah,
the throw was a little bit lower. It was up a little bit. She had to reach up and get it. So big-time play there. And so now the Bulldogs thinking about picking up some insurance runs. And there's a bunt. It's going to go foul. And so that'll be strike one. 0-1 is the count after a infield single by Billy. We're back to the top of the lineup here in Miles. She's 0 for 3 on the day. Flew out to center, ground out to third in her last 2 at-bats.
Main thing is getting out right here. Love to find a way to not let them score. If she does bunt, find a way to get an out.
Show bunt, pulls back, takes it for a ball. 1-1 now is the count. Remind you, our next broadcast will be this weekend. ICC baseball coming your way here on the Red Channel. Number 4, East Central coming to town. That'll be a doubleheader coming your way here on the Red Channel. 1-1 pitch, shows the bunt, fouls it off. 1-2 now is the count. That was a good pitch by Clift. Really, if she got that bunt down, you just tip your cap, say good job. That was not a pitch to bunt on.
Tough pitch to bunt. If she did, it's going to go right at your third baseman. Now she can go for that strikeout. We'd love to have a strikeout right here and keep runners at first and second.
She had, I believe, 8 of those in game 1. Looking for her 9th here in this one. That one fouled off, and we'll keep the at-bat going here. 1-2, still the count with Miles, the DP, at the plate. Wind picking up again here at the ballpark, blowing basically from center field to home plate. Now it's shifting again. Every time I mention the direction it blows, it starts to shift. So waiting the 1-2 pitch here from Clift. And it runs inside. They're going to say low. Nice frame job there by Goodman. And nearly tripped Miles as she was running forward on that one. 2-2 now is the count.
That was a great curveball inside. I think it might have crossed up the umpire a little bit. It was bad close.
So the 2-2 pitch. That one missing.
Shakes his head no.
That's 2 very close pitches, not going the way of the Indians there. Now the count goes 3-2. Runners at first and second with no outs here. Bulldogs trying to get something going here in the top of the 7th. This one popped up, and Shans just couldn't get to it. It was knifing away from her there. And so we'll stay at 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. You got a runner at first and second. Both of those got good speed, Glasgow and Billy. 3-2 is the lead here in favor of the Bulldogs. Top of the 7th in game 2, trying to earn the split. Cliff's 3-2 pitch. Lined and off the glove of the third baseman. Great job there by Green to rally that one in, to not let that one get away in a hurry. As the jumping catch, unable to reel that one in there. And so now his bases loaded here.
Shans gave an effort on that one. Did keep it from getting deeper.
So now this will be Fabry coming to the plate. She reached on an error, scored a run. She's also singled today. Bases are loaded. Brought to you by Samstown Market in Manatee. Remind you the next time you're ready to load your plate, go by and see all the fine folks there in Manatee at Samstown Market in Manatee. I know, Coach, you're wanting to see the Indians rally in this one, so you can get over there to Samstown Market at the end of the day and grab some food.
Most definitely.
This pitch foul back. 0-2 now is the count here on Fabry.
Good job attacking the strike zone right there by Cliff. You know, bases loaded, their best hitter. We're going infield in right here to try to keep it at a 1-run game. Everybody but the shortstop's up, going home. The ball is hit to them.
So the 0-2 pitch, and that one high. Not a bad spot to miss. As some more of those dust devils getting stirred up there with the wind blowing today.
That was a good spot. You try to get her to pop it up to the infield, get your infield fly automatic out, and shortstop is moving in as the pitch is being made, so all the infield looks like they're coming home with the ball.
1-2 pitch, fouled off, and we'll stay at 1-2 once again. Well, one thing the Bulldogs have done good over the last few innings is be able to foul off some pitches and extend at bats.
That's been pretty productive for them. As you said, they've done that and turned those into a number of hits.
So 1-2 is the count. Clift getting set to deliver the pitch. And there's strike 3.
Eventually.
Finally got it called there as Clift has been trying to go for that outside corner, her first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the inning here. And that's a big one because now it puts the double play in play to get out of the inning with no damage done. Here comes trouble in Jones. She is singled in her last 2 at-bats. She's also reached on a fielder's choice. Bases loaded, shows bunt,
can go
squeeze
home.
play, and they're going to go home with it and make the play.
Good defensive effort there by the Indians.
That's a hard play to do with the bases loaded. It's hard to bunt, and especially don't want to bunt it back hard to the pitcher because that does just make for an easy force out. But we'll definitely take it now. Infield can play back. You got a force out at any base right here.
Here comes trouble once again to McGee. She had a 2-run single, scored the go-ahead run in the 6th. So now with 2 outs, bases still loaded here for the Bulldogs. 2 away. Cliff getting set to deliver the pitch. That pitch outside for a ball. So 0-1 is the count. Here to McGee. She's playing first. As I said, bases loaded here. McGee at the dish. Clift in the circle, working in relief. Grounder.
Flip.
Second baseman should get it. No, bobbles it. It does get it over in time. Woo, a little bit of drama there as ICC able to get out of the inning with no damage done. Big time job there by Cliff to come out and see if she can set the table for ICC. They need 1 to extend it, 2 to win it. We'll find out if they can do so here in the bottom of the 7th. Back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
That's what you do, but I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my brain.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as now we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be McClendon, Goodman, and Green scheduled up here for ICC. They trail it 3-2 here in Game 2 to Holmes. ICC won it 9-1 in 6 innings in the first game of the day. Do they have some magic in the bats to see if they can walk it off here in the bottom of the 7th? We'll find out as McClendon starts us off here. She is 0 for 1 with a walk today. Swings on the first pitch she sees, and that's going to be down, and that will be, gets past the center fielder. Now McClendon will head to second.
She's going to keep going, Adam.
Keep going to third. Big time play there from McClendon.
That is the way you want to step in there as the leadoff batter when you're down. Get out there, get on base, take advantage of the mistakes they make, and get it all the way to third with no outs.
Just say Maddie clutch. I mean,
she's been in all season.
Instead of a pinch hit and roll, that's probably the same mindset she had right there. Stepping up, leading off. Later in the game, this might be my only bat, even though she's got more at-bats. And this is going to lead to more at-bats for her going forward and stuff.
Holmes now going to come out and talk in the circle.
That is great.
Or what are we going to call that? Call that a triple, or you can call it a single event, 2-base error?
I called it a single and then a reach third on an error, E8 is what I recorded.
And so they are going to bring in a runner here for McClendon. This is going to be Graham coming in to run. Want to get some speed on the bases in case a wild pitch will allow the tying run to score. But what a clutch hit there by McClendon. We talked about it. She has not got very many at-bats this season, but, man, when she is in a tough situation or a clutch situation, right now that's the person you want at the plate. So now this will be Zoe Goodman coming to the dish. Zoe is catching here in Game 2. She had an RBI ground out in the second, grounded out to the pitcher to end the 4th. Listen to that first pitch, missing low and inside for a ball. High drama here in the bottom of the 7th. Tying run is at third base. No outs here as McClendon started off for the Indians. Graham has come in to run. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Holmes leading it 3-2. Goodman pops it up. And it's going to be caught, and they're going to test the arm. The throw is not in time. Safe. The Indians tie it up on a fly ball to left by Goodman.
They're going to appeal her leaving early at third. That's
the
home plate umpire's call, too.
And so that does turn into a sacrifice fly. by Goodman. That sacrifice fly brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. That's the ICC BSU. They meet Monday nights at 7:07 in the Fine Arts Auditorium, and ICC has tied this thing up 3-3 here with one out after that sacrifice fly by Goodman. And a good job also bringing in the speed of Graham. She was able to beat that throw without an issue.
Yeah, she goes back to third, tags up, and gets home. And the throw was actually a little long and to the left. Had it been a little more online from the left fielder, might have got Graham, but gutsy move there by Coach Owens to try to win, get this tied up here.
Well, this is going to be Camden Taylor coming to the plate now for ICC. One out, nobody on. Taylor, way ahead of that one.
With the weather, the conditions we've seen today, all the crazy stuff, the wind knocked that ball down too. But if they make the throw there and you're out, you just tip your hat to them.
Absolutely.
But that's the way that Indians play. We always push the issue on everything, and we're the aggressor, and that's why we love watching this team play. They never give up. You got a lot of people coming off the bench making things happen right there, running the bases. There's a lot of different options right here, even with Camden batting for us.
That last pitch in the dirt, 1-1 now is the count here to Taylor. One out, nobody on here. 3-3 is your score. Indians have tied it up here in the bottom of the 7th. Taylor looks at that pitch. It's going to miss low for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
Brewer tried to frame that one up, but really had to lift a long way to get that one almost all the dirt.
Love to get a base runner here on in front of Porter.
Yes. 2-1 pitch. And another pitch way ahead of that one. I tell you what, Swilly has done a great job of just locating and hitting those off-speed pitches.
Gets those ICC batters so far out ahead of him, it's ridiculous.
She's not going to blow you away with her speed compared to some other pitchers in this league, but as far as spotting it up and changing speeds, she's been on spot.
Dribbler, shortstop, gets it, throw across the way, and nearly draws the first baseman off the bag, but 6-3 on the putout of Taylor. Now to the top of the lineup we go here with Porter. Porter reached on an error her last time up, was raced on a fielder's choice. She walked, scored a run on a wild pitch back in the third, struck out looking to start the bottom of the first inning. So now she's going to try to spark a 2-out rally here for the Indians. They do tie it at 3 as we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bulldogs trying to get out of this inning. ICC trying to extend it. Porter looks at that first pitch across for a strike.
Looks like Holmes' outfield's playing a little bit deeper right here because Porter, we know she has a lot of extra base hits, and you want to try to keep her at first base if you can.
So 0-1 is the count after taking that first pitch. Looks at that first pitch, missing low and outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
Good job not chasing that changeup that she's had all day. That she's got a lot of swing and misses on.
2 outs, nobody on here. Bottom of the 7th, 3-3 is your score. Porter looks at that pitch. It's outside for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
Yes, we look a little frustrated on that one. Thought she located it in there, but umpire didn't agree.
So the count goes 2-1, 2 outs. Again, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. This one ripped, and it's going to drop for a base hit for Porter. A clutch hit there for Maddie as she takes the wide turn. We'll head back to first.
She reaches base for the 3rd time in a row in this game. Gives ICC a potential winning run. Now Coach Owens going to come out, maybe making a few changes.
We'll see some more speed get on here.
I think he's going
We're actually going to go with a new batter.
Go with a new batter, pinch hit for Lakeland.
H.R. Grantham, Houston Ray Grantham coming to the plate here, getting her first at bat of the day. We're going to get a little bit more power at the plate, as Nichols known more of a slap style hitter. So Houston Ray coming in this situation here, and it's a big situation. Winning run is at first base. HR coming to the ditch here for ICC. Bottom of the 7th inning. Drama here in Fulton. Indians trying to walk it off. Takes that first pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 the count here to Houston Ray.
HR is one of those, she doesn't have the highest batting average, but she's had some tough luck this year. She's hit some balls hard, it's been right at some people.
She's a freshman out of Florida, Mississippi, went to Tri-County. And pops this one up. Second baseman will go back and call everybody off, and that will do it. We've got extra softball here in Fulton as we'll head to the top of the 8th, tied at 3. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
They say Diet Coke is a mom's drink. Well, you copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music. Now, copy her drink. Drink what your mama gave you.
Today tastes like staying in. And it never tasted this good.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the top of the 8th inning. Free softball. Well, I mean, here's the thing. If you come to the ballpark, it's free anyway. So we do want to encourage you to come out any chance you get to support ICC softball. So extra free softball here this evening in Fulton as 3-3 is your score. ICC able to rally with one run there in the bottom of the 7th to tie things up at 3-3. 5, 6, 7 batters due up here. As this will be Swilly, Simpson, and Williams scheduled up. Clift still in the circle here for ICC. She got the Game 1 win. Now would be in line for Game 2 win if the Indians could find a way to win it here. This pitch popped up, out of play, strike 1.
Swilly, the pitcher in this game for Holmes, has gone out to the outfield 3 times. Flew out to right twice and flew out to center her last at bat.
As you mentioned earlier, you know, Swilly, I mean, she's gone 7 innings, going to give up 3 runs. And
impressive.
What, like 5, 6 pitches into the game, they sent people to the bullpen too?
Yes.
And she has just battled.
That one fouled off the netting. 0-2 now is the count. That's a good point you make. You know, it was the first batter of the game when they sent the pitchers to the bullpen, and she settled down pretty well. So 0-2 now is the count. Swilly, 0 for 3, did line into a double play out in right field. And listen to that pitch outside. Borderline pitch not going the way of the Indians there. 1-2 now is the count. New right fielder for the Indians. That is Graham out in right field. So 1-2 now is the count. And that pitch, they're going to appeal. Did she go? She did not. I agree. But I do like the appeal. You never know what you're going to get that call there. 2-2 now is the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. As Swilly starting us off here in the top of the 8th inning. And here's a shot. It's going to go foul and out of play. We'll sit at 2-2.
Slices that one out toward the batting cages.
Good crowd still sticking around. See a lot of the football players hanging out here with us in Game 2. Volleyball was here in Game 1. I think some parents are kind of nervously pacing as this one popped up deep into right field. Right fielder's going to call it off, and we'll have to dance around, and we'll find it for out number 1. So, again, a tough play with the wind blowing the way it is. Nice job by, I believe that's Graham out there in right field, reeling that one in for out number 1.
That's a big first out here. You always want to get that leadoff hitter out because it gives the offense lots of options to bunt, hit and run, different things we've seen Holmes try today. So that was huge for Cliff to get that first out.
So this is Simpson. She was batted for in the previous at-bat. As she is 0 for 2 on the day. She had that question mark play in her first at-bat, whether it was a drop strike 3 or a wild pitch call. We thought it was a foul ball, but either way it goes, that first pitch across for a strike. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Nice job by Cliff to quickly get in the head of the count here, 0-2.
She is pounding that strike zone up. Now your batter is going to the front of the box. She's trying to catch it before it breaks, looks like.
So waiting the 0-2 pitch here from Clift. Fouled it off, and we'll stay at 0-2. Nice job finding a piece of that one.
Yeah, she's battling there.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 8th.
She's standing right on top of the plate and at the front of the box, too.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Big time Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Clift. Her second since she's come into relief of Lily. 103rd on the season. And so now with 2 outs, this will be Williams coming to the plate. She's 0 for 2 with the sacrifice bunt.
She's flown out to center and grounded out to second.
This one popped up over the top of us here in the ICC Alumni Association and Foundation broadcast booth. Remind you, if you'd like to find out how you can contribute to ICC softball, maybe you've enjoyed today's broadcast, you'd like to help out the Sports Information Department, you can visit iccms.edu/Indian Club. That's iccms.edu/Indian Club. There's a liner right to the first baseman.
Great
and that will be a 3-up, 3-down inning there, as you said, Coach. A great inning. See if ICC can find some bats here in the bottom half. It'll be Marlar, Shands, and Stegall right where you want to be if you're an Indian. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-3 is your score. It was a 3-up, 3-down inning in the top half. And now for ICC, Marlar, Shands, and Stegall. 3, 4, 5 batters due up here for the Indians. Marlar stands in, looks at that first pitch, high and outside for a ball. Well, she's got the power, and she's due. She could be one of these players that could end this thing in a hurry with one swing of the bat. But right now, if you're ICC, you just want solid contact and runners on the bases. See what you can make happen here. That pitch up high for a ball. 2-0 now is the count.
And for all of her power, she has a number of those doubles and those other things that get her on.
She is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today, so she's looking to redeem herself.
That's a good take. That ball's up and away, but got the call. One thing you got to be patient on right here is that, Swilly has thrown so many change-ups.
Yes.
That she will try to get you out in front of something. You just got to get your pitch, find a way to get on base, however you can.
So 2-1 now is the count. That pitch up high. 3-1 now the count.
Seeing Marlar much more patient in this at bat. She chased some of those off speeds and those outside ones earlier in this game, but she's really a lot more locked in this time.
Don't want to make a mistake in this situation if you're Swilly. 3-1 pitch. And taking the whole way that time was AB. Now the count goes full at 3-2. Big time pitch coming up here. 3-3 is your score. Bottom of the 8th. Count is full. Marlar leading us off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Game 2 between ICC and Holmes. Hits it right up the middle. It's going to get through for a base hit. Clutch hit there for Marlar.
Yes, she does, Adam. Just gets it, drives it right through the pitcher, almost through the pitcher's legs, cross second base into the outfield.
A very clutch time to come up with her first hit of the game. And now Neely Hodum will enter to run here for Marlar. A clutch leadoff single there for ICC. And I tell you what, that's a big hit and a big confident boost there also for Marlar, as, for the lack of better words, Sweely has had her number today.
She has, and as Upton made a great point, she was so much more patient in that at bat. Just really patient, and it paid off for her.
Now this is going to be Shands at the plate. Swings on the first one, fouls it off. Strike one.
Corners the defense playing in like they expect a bunt. But with Shands at the plate, I don't think you're going bunt here. I think you're letting her see what damage she can do.
I was about to ask the same question. It's hard to take the bat out of her hands, even to move somebody second when she can end this thing right here with one swing.
So 0-1 is the count after swinging away at the first pitch she saw. Fouled it off. Now does show bunt. Lays it down. But has that
so
backspin
close.
on it for strike two. Good bunt. Just unfortunately,
Yes.
like a Jim Ingram sandwich, hit and rolled about 6 inches back.
Yeah, very well placed, but that spin got her.
That tells you the respect for Shands is you had your corners playing in, but your outfield's playing about as deep as they've played all day, you know, because they know the power she's got, but they're playing the bunt. Now the bunt's off for sure.
0-2 is the count. Runner at first with no outs. Shands pulls that one but foul, and we'll stay at 0-2. High drama here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-3 is your score. 0-2 is the count to Shands. You've got a runner at first in Hodum who represents the game-winning run. Shands waiting the pitch. Hits this one a flare to right side, but it's going to travel foul.
Back-to-back pitches. She's fouled one into each of the two bullpens. So that shows you that Sweeley's just moving around on her, not trying to give her anything that she can really do damage with.
0-2 is the count here to Shands. She singled back in the second, has grounded out each time after that. Good eye taking that pitch high for a ball. Not a bad spot to miss there with the pitch to burn.
Yeah, indeed, just trying to, after working her around the corner, seeing if she'll chase one there. Good eye by Shands not to.
So 1-2 now is the count here to Shands. We mentioned Hodum at first after the single by Marler to start the inning. That pitch outside. 2-2 now is the count.
Shands steps back in the box.
Big pitch right here.
And that pitch.
Way to hold off on that one. Looked
Tough
good
one
to
to
start
hold,
her
yeah.
with, and her shoulders looked it, but then she quickly got back to a good stance.
Yeah, Swilly wanted that pitch bad. She did not want to go full. She wanted her to chase that one now. Back to full count. Could put the runner in motion right here with a good hitter.
So waiting the 3-2 pitch here to Shands. And she fouls it back, and we'll set it up and do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runner at first, bottom of the 8th inning. 3-3 is your score.
She'd like to have that pitch back. She was
100%.
right on it. And the way Swilly's been, she could go back with a changeup right here. You just never know.
All speed has been her ticket today. This one popped up, and it could be trouble.
Oh.
And they're going to say
umpire saying interference.
Say it bounced off and hit before she's able to catch it.
She did collide with the fence over there.
Good job by the umpire being right on top of that. Got right in position to make the call. You heard a thud. Of course, it was out of our vision from where we are here in the press box. And I'm going to be honest with you. I looked up and saw nothing but the sun. So all I see is orange spots in front of me right now. 3-2 is the count. Still no outs. Runner at first. Shands pops this one up. Same area. First baseman giving chase and will make the play.
That's a great catch for a first baseman
Yes.
running over your head. They don't get that play a whole lot. Don't practice it a whole lot.
And that was a big out there. Now this will be Sadie Stegall coming to the plate. She doubled back in the 4th. Did have a sacrifice bunt in the 2nd. In the 2nd. She popped up to short in her last at bat. That first pitch in there for a strike. So 0-1 is the count. 1 out. Runner at second. See if they get aggressive here. Maybe see if they can move Hodum into scoring position. Is that pitch high for a ball? Maybe that's what they were thinking there too. Almost like a pitch out type pitch.
Yeah, kind of looked that way.
So 1-1 now is the count here to Stegall. Game-winning run is at first here for the Indians. Ball in the dirt, and the runner's going to go. The throw is not going to be there.
What a great read by Hodem right there. Read that dirt ball. That was a changeup that has bounced. We've seen it bounce a few times when she lost the grip of it. And she read that first thing, got in scoring position right here. That's big for the Indians.
Well, if they can just get something down to the gap, we could possibly walk this one off here in the bottom of the 8th. Stegall at the dish.
Holmes coach advising the left fielder to play in some.
This one popped up. Good pitch.
Oh.
Catcher going to drift over and does make the play.
Oh.
And then they throw it away. The ball is going to the outfield, and they're going to get the runner at third on the error. Whew, tough one there. But they do have 2 outs. The throw to third was airmailed, so that is an error on the catcher. And so now this is going to be Duhan coming to the plate. There's 2 outs in the inning. Winning run is at third here for ICC. High drama here in Fulton. ICC trying to get the sweep of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs trying to get the out and force us to the 9th. Pitch coming. In the dirt. Gets away. Hodem's going to track home, and ICC wins it on the wild pitch. Indians win it by the final score of 4-3 in extra innings.
Fantastic getting into a very exciting game, Adam.
What a bizarre finish there. ICC gets the win, and they will celebrate the sweep here with a 4-3 win in extra innings. We'll take a break and talk about this one and look at some more stats, part of the Renaissance Bank postgame report. Back with more right after this.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we catch our breath here for the Renaissance Bank postgame report. ICC wins it in extra innings on a walk-off wild pitch. ICC wins it 4-3. It was Marlar who started the inning with a single right back up the middle. And then the error allowed the runner to get to third. And then Hodem was able to scramble home after the pitch got away from the catcher. ICC earns the sweep this afternoon of Holmes. And, guys, your thoughts on the game being brought to you by Bank Oklahoma.
I'm just going to tell you, that's the very well pitched game by both teams. I mean, Swilly just battled right there, you know, to hold us to 4 runs. We left a few runners out there, but, man, what can you say about Lily? I mean, she kept it right there. They had that big 1 inning where everything went right and got the 3 runs there in the top of 6. But then Cliff comes in the 7th and just bases loaded, no outs, and does not allow a run to keep it at a 1-run game. And then we talk about it for years and years about that Indian swag,
Yes.
that ICC swag. You're never out of it, and we have seen in all sports here amazing things in the bottom of the 7th and the bottom of the 8th for the Indians to pull it out.
Those final thoughts being brought to you by Bank Oklahoma. John Herron and the company. Proud to sponsor ICC's athletics here on the ICC Sports Network. Loving it even more when you get an exciting win here in extra innings. And let's take a look at the final line of the evening being brought to you by the Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. And it looks like this: 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Bulldogs. ICC, 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 errors as well. One of those questionable. As we said, we'll have to get the final call if it was a wild pitch or E2 on a drop. Strike 3 that we thought was a foul ball. But either way it goes, that's beside the point. For ICC, those 5 hits, only 1 goes for extra base. That belongs to Stegall. You had Shands, Porter, and McClendon and Marlar with the other hits, all those being singles. Michael, just the Indians finding a way to get it done.
They did. A great team effort. There was no really just one person tearing it up at the plate in this game, because Swilly did a fantastic job for Holmes in attacking our batters. And you had a good combo of Lily working as long as she could and Cliff coming in and picking her up at the end. So you're talking about an all-around team effort here. Just really impressive by this young squad.
Well, guys, we got a little bit of meat left on the bone here in the Renaissance Bank post-game report, and I'm going to put it on y'all because I sure ain't going to try to figure it out here. The Samstown Market,
expertise of Coach
the Samstown Market star of the game. Remember, fans, when you want to be the star of your next home-cooked meal, start with Samstown Market, located right there in the heart of Manatachee. And, Coach, let's put it on you because it's one of those situations where it's a little bit of everybody today that got it done for the Indians, but if you had to look at the small parts of the game, or what was it the difference that you thought, or who was the difference you thought was in today's game?
I'm going to go back to the pitching circle. I mean, Ella Lilly just giving us a shot, just battling there for, 6 innings. She did give up 3 runs towards the end, but as an individual, and then, of course, Cliff just being Cliff, I mean, that's just clutch. She was in a pressure situation the whole time, but it's hard to even just give it to the 2 pitchers when it's a whole team.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly as Mr. Upton was saying, it was so many people involved, and there's not many times in this league that you are going to win an extra inning game and you only have 1 extra base hit.
Mm-hmm.
That's a team. That's the coaching staff too. I'm gonna tell you, that's 2 coaches sticking together and knowing their kids and coming in, and kudos to Holmes. I mean, they brought it too. But this is a big win for the Indians as you'll go through the rest of this conference. Is you'll look back at this one and win the seeding, and that's the main thing. I know this team, their main goal is just get to the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it. I'll just go ahead and I'll make the official call since I'm the lead guy here. We are going to say the entire team, everybody from top to bottom, because you look at somebody like Marlar. She had a very frustrating day at the plate in Game 2, then comes through right when you need her with an RBI single right back up the middle, and that turns into the game-winning run. And you had Hodum come in and make that quick decision. So, and then you had a clutch hit and a pinch run by Graham that tied us up. So, I mean, it's really hard to come in and say, this is the person, this is why. And as a coach, that's what you want. You want a complete team effort. At the end of the day, you can hang your hat on.
That's exactly right, and that's been this team since day one. It's been everybody's been chipping in, and you talk about the tagging up, the pinch running, the Hodum coming off the bench right there and getting the second, then getting the third, and we've talked about it all day long about if you can just get that runner to third base, it puts so much pressure on the pitcher and the catcher to not have a pass ball or a wild pitch, and that's how. Ironically, that's how this game ended today. That's kind of that. It came down to that. We've seen it so many times.
And as you've said all day in both games, the aggressiveness of this coaching staff and the way ICC plays softball was huge, both in Game 1, importantly here in Game 2, the single by McClendon to stretch that into the triple when there's a bobble in the outfield to eventually score a run. Everything that's done, those pinch runners, those aggressive bases, don't wait, go for it, and it pays off to tie the game up in the 7th, and it pays off for the win in the 8th.
That's exactly right. This team is not – they're not satisfied, and that's the thing. They don't stop. They just don't take one base like you see some teams do, and the coaches had to be a stop sign, and that is – I mean, almost every player on the team played today in some part, some fashion. If they were not actually on the field with the wind blowing, I saw a couple – bench players that went to the bullpen catching people, getting them ready and everything, and taking balls in between games. And I think the wind is it getting stronger?
I would say it's blowing even harder now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chairs, actually 10 chairs down on the party deck out here to my right. Can't see the other side of the field there. But that's going to do it for today's broadcast. ICC picks up their 21st win of the season. They're 21-6. Overall, 6-2 inside conference play. Holmes falls to 10-12, 1-6. We do want to wish the best of luck to our friends from Holmes the rest of the way out. You got a good ball club. They've had a chance to come up with some big wins today. Get out and support them the next opportunity you get there in Goodman. So for Michael Upton, Andy Kurt, Casey Smith, Cal Brown, I saw Matt Mallard here for a little bit. He was here today, and Raphael Henry. I'm Adam Gore saying so long from Fulton. ICC gets the conference sweep of the Bulldogs, 9-1 in 6 innings in Game 1, 4-3 in 8 innings in Game 2. Have a blessed evening, and as always, Roll Tribe.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next? So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.